is sponsored by Modelo for the fighting spirit. And the Marines. You ever wanted to kill a man? The Marines. And now, for those of you in attendance and those comedy fans watching on YouTube around the world, this is the moment you truly have been waiting for! Live from the Abbey in Orlando, it's time! This fight is scheduled for 1 hour in the stand-up comedy division. Introducing first and only, fighting out of the blue corner, a stand-up comedian with a professional record, 0 wins, 0 losses. He stands at 6 feet. He stands at 6 feet, 2 inches tall, weighing in at 184 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Orlando, Florida, this is his debut comedy special. He is the one, the only, the illustrious Robert Strange!
What's up, Orlando? All right. I am so nervous. Jeez, this is terrible. You're just looking at all you guys. You're just waiting for me to say something, anything interesting. God, when is it going to happen? Never. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to fall for it. If you haven't been on stage, it feels a little bit like the first day of school. You know, when you're walking to class, you're anxiously anticipating going to this first day for so long, and you finally get there, you finally walk in, you find your seat probably near the back, you're a little bit shy. The teacher finds you anyway, points you right out, says, you're going to start us off. I want you to name 3 interesting things about yourself. The rest of the class is going to go after you, but you're going to go first. Stand up right now and name any 3 interesting things about yourself. And the entire class is just staring at you, waiting. No one could ever say anything interesting when they're put on the spot like that. For instance, sir, name any 3 interesting things about yourself right now. See, this guy sucks. He's not interesting at all. I'm so sorry. What was your name? Max. I went to high school with you. I should know your name. Thank you, Max. I appreciate it. I'm not up here to make fun of Max. I'm up here to tell stories. I really, really like telling stories. That's why you all are here. That's why I wrote this entire comedy special. And in writing out the entire comedy special, I got to thinking about where my love for telling stories comes from. After I thought about it, pretty sure it comes from a very predictable place. Same place I got my name, my father. So we'll start there. My father's name is Robert Strange. His father's name is Robert Strange. So naturally, you can see why he would name me Robert Strange. Very good. But there's more backstory to it than that. The year is 1995. My parents are on the way to the hospital having their firstborn. It's a boy, a joyous occasion. Baby comes out. My dad's holding it in his arms. Oh, I've never felt love like this before. This is amazing. I made you. And because of that, I'm going to name you after me. I'm going to name you Robert Strange. He did it. Tic-tac-toe, 3 Roberts in a row. 3 generations of Roberts. And if he would have stopped there, it would have been sufficient. That would have been fine. But the story continues. 2.5 years later, the year is 1998, exact same scenario, on the way to the hospital, holding a little baby. Oh my God, this is so amazing. It's happening all over again. I've never felt love like this before. I'm gonna name you Robert Strange. Again! That was me, I'm the remix. He named me Robert Strange as well. Do you know how many names there are? Elon Musk just named his child a number, and my dad chose Robert 2 times in a row. That's not even the strangest thing about my father. The strangest thing about my father is that he didn't let me get Lego Star Wars 2 for the GameCube. But I will get back to that because first, to set that up, I need to tell you about the second strangest thing about my father, which is how much he loves World War II, like so much. He's in love with it, has this huge collection. He loves it so much that every summer, for 8 summers in a row, starting for the first one when I was 5 years old, he took my brother and I on vacation to Europe. Whoopee, right? Yeah. But not a single place in Europe that any one of you just thought of when I said Europe. We're not going to Europe. We're going to Europe. We're going to the battlefields and to the cemeteries. If someone died there during World War II, or they were then taken somewhere else and buried, we went to both of those places to learn and take pictures. And those were my summer vacations from the time I was 5 all the way to 8 years later. I'm not good at simple math. 13, I think, right? No? We would be going to this vacation, and my dad, he's like preparing us. He's like, well, we're gonna have to fly on a plane to get to Europe. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I've never been on a plane before. You know, I'm 5. And I'm thinking this is gonna be really exciting. I was very pumped up for the entire thing until I realized we're not flying to France on a commercial aircraft because apparently that costs money, and we didn't have any money, so we're not gonna be flying to France on a commercial plane. So my dad goes, well, would anyone like to fly us to France for free, perhaps? And the United States Navy said, we'll do it. Why not? Sure, because apparently the U.S. Navy will fly members of the military and their families for free anywhere in the world as long as the Navy already had ulterior motives in that location. And lucky for us, something fishy was going on in France, so instead of driving to an airport at 4 a.m., he gets us in the car and we are off to Dad's work, pull into his parking spot to fly to France, and what to my wondering eyes should appear? But a C-17 Globemaster. Jeez, for those of you that don't play Call of Duty, this is a giant military cargo plane. Huge. I look at this plane, then I look to my father, and I say, Dad, where's the real plane? Well, this is a real plane. Then why did I just see them put the Ark of the Covenant in our plane? I've seen Indiana Jones. I know what that box is, Dad. We get into the plane, and it's got, if you've seen any military movie or a movie with Tom Cruise, it's the plane that has like the seats lining the walls facing inward, and then in that big middle space is a long row for cargo to be strapped down. Some of that cargo was already strapped down. My dad points in between 2 of the boxes, and he says, this is sleeping space. You can sleep right here. And I was like, hooray, yeah, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm very tired, but I don't want to sleep on that metal floor. He's like, I got you covered. Don't worry. Here's a pool floaty. You have to blow it up. And I blew up the pool floaty. I'm asleep in between these 2 boxes, like right here, right there in the middle of the plane. You know how on a normal plane, when it takes off, it does one of these? It's like, oh, look at us. We're flying. We're having so much fun. We're flying. Yay. Well, got it. On my particular C-17 Globemaster, the pilots were enacting protocol tactical takeoff, which looks more like this. And I'm here in the middle of the plane, plastered to the front of the Ark of the Covenant, like a cartoon character blasting off to space, as this behemoth, this helicarrier from the Avengers, is climbing into the sky using nothing more than the sheer willpower of I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. It makes it up there. It doesn't. Hey, thank you. We're up in the atmosphere. Oh, hi. How are you? We're up in the atmosphere, and that's when I realized these planes are not built for comfort, and I am very, very cold. I go to my dad, and I say, Dad, I am very, very cold, as one does when you do. And I look at him, and I say, Dad, can you do something about that? He's like, sure, yeah, I was going to do it later, but you boys come over here. And he sits down in the seat, and we're about to sit down, too. He's like, no, stand in front of me at attention. And I was like, are we going to, like, a real war right now? What? He says, boys, I got you something. Pulls it out of his bag. I was like, is that a shirt? He's like, yeah. This is a real, battle-worn American World War II uniform. I had Grandma tailor them to fit your small bodies, and you're going to wear these for the entire vacation as we take pictures and learn all around Europe. I was 5 years old. The whole thing, the helmet, field knife, med pack, the boots, the garters, the pants, the shirt, the jacket, for everything, the patches, everything is from World War II. Collected them all in this huge collection. My brother puts his on. He's like, oh, cool, you know, like someone died in this? I put mine on. Hey, Dad. Whichever way I turned my head, the helmet would just drag. It's like, Dad, can you come here for a second? Motherfucker, is this a real war? Are you kidding me? Real military uniforms on a real military plane? Is that what you packed me, a slingshot? Am I some lost boy you're selling to La Resistance? I got one! This one has spunk. Thank you for bringing him. We needed spunk. We get off the plane, and we aren't in a war. We're in a van. And we live out of this van for the next couple of weeks, wearing the World War II uniforms the entire time, like a struggling punk rock band that's just waiting to make big. Eating canned food that we brought from home. We were eating our own food that we put in our backpacks. That was probably the worst part, because I didn't even know that France had real food. So you can imagine my pure and utter disdain when I get back home. We go to see a movie, and I realize it's Ratatouille. I was pissed. I stood up halfway through. What? You're telling me France has real food? It's the best food in the world, apparently, according to this movie, and it's made by animated rats? I didn't see any of that shit. I saw a lot of battlefields, and here's the thing about battlefields. When the battle's over, it's just a field. So we would drive for hours eating Vienna sausages and Spam, my head bobbing in the back seat. Get out. Look at this one. Smile. Probably happened right here. Cool, back in the car, drive to get to a cemetery hours away. And that's where it got really weird at the cemeteries, because they're still there. They're there for eternity. The men that used to be wearing these clothes are just lying under eternity. And I walk over. Hey, is that my shirt? Those are my pants. Can you come back here? And his neighbor, shut up! Shut up. He respects you. Don't you see that? He respects you. We weren't the only ones in these cemeteries. Ah, thanks. We weren't the only ones in these cemeteries, and other people would be taking pictures of us. And at first, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like a celebrity. There's a lot of people are taking pictures of us, and none of them are. They're not coming. They think we're ghosts. Oh no, we're in this cemetery. They think we're all ghosts. They probably thought I was the shortest ghost in World War II. The ghost of the famed, what was it? Soldier Boy. They thought I was Soldier Boy from World War II. Oh man. So, once we get out of the cemetery, we are planning our trip back. We get to an airport in Germany. And this is where things got really weird. Last story about my dad before this connects and makes any sense. We're in this airport in Germany, and over the intercom we hear, Mr. Robert Strange, please report to security checkpoint B at the front of the terminal. Yeah. That's how they make official announcements. In Germany, my dad gets up, goes away, comes back a short time later. It wasn't anything major. They had just found a bomb in my father's bag. What? A bomb? Well, lucky for him, his defense was bulletproof. Sir, is this a bomb in your bag? Yeah, but like it's old and it doesn't work. I collect things. This is from World War II. I just want to take my little collectible back home. He's like, I can't let you take your bomb on this plane. If I let your bomb on this plane, I gotta let like every bomb on this plane. There's just a lot of. This other lady came through here. She had a huge bomb. We had to take her. She's on your flight. She's gonna be pissed if she finds out you took your bomb on the plane. Legally, I can't say whether that bomb did make it on the plane or not, because that would terrify you if I told the truth. We get back to America, and Lego Star Wars 2 had just come out for the GameCube, and I am pumped. I sprint up to my dad. Dad, so there's this game. It's Lego, and it's Star Wars, and you know how much I love both of those things. And when you play as Chewbacca, you can like hold down the B button, and you rip off his arms, and you just wave him in the air, and like... I'll stop right there for a second, just to survey the audience. Have you guys seen the Pixar film Inside Out? Yeah. You know how the whole movie centers around the idea of core memories. Yeah. This is one of my core memories. He stops me there, he says, son. I think he called me son because he was too afraid to remember that he named two people Robert. Son, I'm not gonna buy you that game. In fact, I'll probably never buy you another game again, because I don't want to expose you to video game violence. You bitch ass, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Expose me to video game violence? You asked me to unpack your bomb. I don't even know where I put it. I lost it. You didn't even ask me about it. After years and years of living with a man who can apparently tell a story so good that he can talk a bomb onto a plane, I start to see the merit in being able to spin a good yarn. So I use my newfound storytelling ability to get my childhood dream job, which was being a VIP tour guide at Universal Studios Orlando. Woo! It's a tough job to get, but nothing's too tough for old soldier boy here. I remember it was just the best job I had ever had because you get to learn all the hidden ins and outs of the park. You get to take these families on tour, get to tell them stories for literally 8 hours a day as you ride rides with them. And sometimes the people that you take on tour are high-profile clients, and that was always very exciting. I remember the very first time I ever had a high-profile client. I was walking into work, I was about to clock in, and I'm about to find out I'm about to get my first high-profile. My coworker runs up to me, sprinting, clearly out of breath. I'm sorry, man, I'm out of breath. Well, clearly. I'm out of breath because I just found out you've only been working here for 2 months. And I just found out you're taking a Florida senator on your tour today. There's no way. That's impossible, right? Dude, dead ass. Okay, he's serious. He said dead ass. Okay. This is embarrassing for me because I'm just now finding out that senators are real. We actually have senators. I thought it was a Star Wars character this whole time. They're real. We have a Senate. There's two main things that I remember from my high-profile experience at Universal Studios. Just that stand out above all else. I don't want to waste your time with the bad story. So the first one is that I never met Brad Pitt, and that made me really sad. Because, and I don't know if you guys know this about me or not, but I'm white, and white people love Brad Pitt, like really love Brad Pitt. Here's a real-life example of that. Brad Pitt has 3 children that he has adopted from struggling foreign countries. But before he adopted those children in those countries, he decided he was going to check his hometown of Los Angeles. Drives up to the orphanage, gets out, closes the car door. All the little orphans inside hear it. They run up to the window. I think that's Brad Pitt. There's no way that's Brad Pitt. Yo, dead ass, that's Brad Pitt. Like, for real, that's Brad. And all the little white orphans run outside. Brad, how'd you get so ripped for Fight Club? And what's Edward Norton like? You know, I'm actually an actor myself, so I was wondering if I... And Brad's like, no, I'm not doing this. Gets in his private jet, flies over, gets in a car, same exact thing. Door closes, orphans run outside, but this time, it's a little different story. All the orphans crowd around him. They're like, sir, excuse me, pale man, did you bring any clean water with you? Well, no, I didn't, but pale man, do you not know who I am? I actually have no idea who you are. Well, that is refreshing. What is refreshing? It's like when you're thirsty, you take a big sip of water. You wouldn't get it. I'm sorry. Do you want to come live with me? I'll adopt you right now. Is that how the adoption process works? I think so. You just get on my plane. We're going to have to stop in Aspen on the way home, though, to pick up my wife, Angelina Jolie, so I hope you like snow. Well, I don't even know what snow is. I've never even heard of it. This is amazing. Wow, this is incredible. I'm going to get to explain snow. I've never had to explain snow before. So snow is it's this white, frozen, clean water that just falls from the sky. Oh, yes! Fresh, clean water that just falls from the sky. And you drink this. You drink this fresh, clean water? No, you don't drink. You just throw it at each other, and you play in it. It gets all over your clothes, and you get all cold. Damn, that's a bummer. Why on your clothes? You're all cold now. What do you do when you're all cold? Well, you go inside and you take a nice hot shower. I've never heard of a shower. I don't know what that is. Oh wow, I never heard of a shower. It's gonna be so much fun. I've never had to explain a shower before. So a shower is this thing. I guess depending on how much money you have, it's a tub or it's a room, and you go into it and you turn this little thing on the wall, and there's a thing above that, and all this fresh, clean water just comes pouring out all over your body. Okay, I'm on board now. Fresh, clean water. And you drink this fresh, clean water? No, you just rub it all over your body. It gets all over your body, everywhere, and it goes down a drain forever. And your clothes get wet too? Well, no, you put your clothes in the laundry. You don't know what laundry is? No. Well, you know when you clean your clothes? No. All right, well, laundry is it's this box, and it fills up with fresh, clean water. You don't drink this fresh, clean water. Even if you wanted to get to the fresh, clean, we're going to lock the lid. So you're not going to get anywhere near this water, and then it's going to go away. You're never even going to see it. You're going to hear it. Where was I? I was talking about a shower, right? So you get out of the shower, and then you dry off in the bathroom. Well, I don't know what a bathroom is. Oh, cool, bathroom. So, bathroom's this room with a toilet and a sink and a shower. Well, I've never heard of a toilet before. Well, a toilet is this, I've never had to explain a toilet before. It's this seat bowl. It's like a white seat with lids. I don't know, it's just full of fresh, clean water though, just plentiful, gallons and gallons of gallons. It just keeps coming, so much fresh, clean water. Thank God, because I'm thirsty and I really want to drink this water. You don't drink this water, you just shit in the water. You shit all over the fresh, clean water. You shit in it, and more water comes for you to shit in later. So I haven't met Brad Pitt, and that makes me sad because I'm white and white people love Brad Pitt. The second thing that I remember from Universal Studios Orlando Resort is that Brazilian fans are almost the loudest fans. It goes Irish, Brazilian, and then pretty much everyone else. That was a very interesting day, the day that I found this out. I remember it very well. It was last January. I remember that because it was around the time that I went to Las Vegas last year, but I will get back to that. So I'm walking into work, same thing, clock in, I get my paperwork, and the paperwork at VIP is usually like 1, maybe 2 pages of information. It has your guest name on it, if they have allergies, stuff like that. This packet was a packet. It was huge. It was like 10 to 12 pages, and the first words after my guest name were the Beyonce of Brazil. Well, last time I checked, Beyonce is still the Beyonce of Brazil, and no one disrespects Miss Carter, so I kicked her off my tour, lickety-split. I'm kidding. She was a great lady. She was a lot of fun. She could handle so much because the fans of hers filled up Universal. A very big portion of Universal's patronage is Brazilian guests. And so they would see her, push their babies out of the way, sprint up to her for a selfie, and she would catch them, take their phone, snap a selfie, push them into their phone as she sends them away with some original word of encouragement that she hasn't said to any of her other fans. While the next one is coming up, she catches them holding a conversation over her shoulder in Portuguese and talking to me in English. While all of this is happening, she goes, "Robert, you have to come to my show. It is this Saturday at Universal. You have to be there. You have to be at my show, Robert." I was like, okay, cool. Sounds great. You know, I actually work at Universal, so I get in for free. This is going to be so easy. Easiest concert to ever have to go to. The concert rolls around. It's Saturday. Everyone is there. It is packed, shoulder to shoulder. The happiest, sweatiest Brazilians you have ever seen in your entire life are jumping and singing her music in Portuguese as she sings to them in Portuguese exclusively for like an hour. And then, an hour into the show, she switches from Portuguese to English, and she addresses the entire audience just like this. "We have had such a great time here at Universal!" And the crowd goes, "Ah, Universal!" I would just like to take this time to thank a very special person who was with us. I would like to thank our guide here, Robert. "Robert, are you here, my friend? Robert, are you out there?" And then the crowd erupts, but this time in cheers and chants, in search for the one that she calls Robert. "Robert, Robert, where are you? She needs you. Robert, my friend, I want to be the one to find you." At that moment, at that exact moment, Saturday, January 18th at 9:31 p.m., surrounded by a sea of screaming fans, I knew I would never feel more alive. But they still can't find Robert. And thus, like a tsunami growing on a Brazilian sea, Robert, Robert. And it grows. Robert, Robert. And it builds. Robert, Robert. And the ground shakes. Robert, Robert, Robert. And the skies open. Robert, Robert, Robert. A sea of people chanting my name. Robert. And Robert was in Las Vegas, Nevada the entire time. I was never at the concert, ever. I don't speak Portuguese. I would have had an awful time. Coming back from that Las Vegas trip, the very first tour I had back, I had this really interesting guy on tour. Had like the widest eyes, and he had just the most interesting facts to give me. He was like, "Hey man, so did you know that turtles can breathe out of their butts?" And then at the end of the tour, he comes up to me, hey man, so I heard you want to be a stand-up comedian. Great, because I actually have a secret. I was like, I don't want to hear that. Hey man, I have the secret to being the world's bestest stand-up comedian. It's America's Got Talent. That's all you just gotta win. Oh, that's it. All I had to do was win America's Got Talent. I don't think I would be very good at that show because I'm not like a blind piano player or like a toothless juggler or like a momless football player. I don't know. Everyone on that show is just so depressing. And they try and pass them off as the most interesting people on television, but they aren't. The most interesting people on television are on Shark Week. They're the people. Yeah, big claps for Shark Week. Shark Week in the house tonight at the Abbey. Orlando, Florida. How are we feeling about Shark Week tonight? So Shark Week, these people on Shark Week, the people that get interviewed that lose a limb to surfing from a shark, and then they get back in the water as soon as possible because surfing is their passion. It's too interesting for me. It's way too interesting. I'm not that interesting, so I don't believe it. Just one time, I want to see a realistic shark attack interview. I think it would go a little bit like this. We just heard the heralding tale of how this young Australian boy survived a shark attack. Now, son, before we let you go, we just had one question left for you. What was it like the first time you got back out there in the water? Hold on just a sec. What the fuck did you just say? Get back out in the water? Are you insane? What the fuck? Oh, we just thought. I don't give a kangaroo's titty what you thought. There's sharks out there. They're not full. They got like that much arm. Well, we just thought that since you loved the ocean, so listen here, mate. I don't give a kangaroo's titty about the ocean. In fact, my new morning routine, I wake up bright and early every day and I bike 8 kilometers to the nearest McDonald's. I then gather as many straws as I can get my hand on, ride my bike to the beach and just start chucking them in one by one to slowly but surely deplete their ecosystem. We're sorry about the profanity on Shark Week. We just thought you were passionate about surfing, dude. Hey, mate, I'm sorry about that, but I just need to make one thing clear to you really quick. I don't give a kangaroo's titty about surfing, at all. In fact, I lost a limb to a shark while I was surfing. Why would I love to surf? No passion in the world could survive something that traumatic. In fact, you tell me something real quick. You tell me what you're passionate about, and we'll test it out. Well, I like to fix up old cars. I like to drive them around, I guess. Perfect. So, imagine this, if you will. You fix up a car, and it's done. Yay! I wrote this joke when I was 14. You fix up this car, and it's all done. It's nice and shiny. It's your dream car. Yes. Now, you go for a drive. And you're just driving. You know, birds are flying by your car. The sun's setting over your shoulder. Who needs seatbelts, right? It's a good day. Shifting gears. Ah! Was that a man of the law? I think that was a police officer. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I'm going to the clanker for sure. I'm gonna get put in jail. Oh no, what was I thinking? Whoop whoop. Sir, pull your car over to the side of the road. Yeah, yes, of course, officer. I'm so sorry about that. Jeez, this road is huge. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Sir, license and registration, please. Yes, of course, officer. I'm so sorry about that. Here you go. Oh my God. Sir, your eyes are as dark as midnight. And your teeth are so sharp. Oh my God! Ah! 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 officer was a great white shark this whole time! Where was I? America's Got Talent, right? Yeah. So, if America's Got Talent is not going to be my ticket to fame, I need to find something else, because there's so many stand-up comedians out there, you know? And it seems like all the famous ones, all like the really good ones, they all have their niche, their own corner of the market. Since this is my first comedy special, I need to figure out how I can corner the market, and since not a lot of stand-up comedians that I know can shred on the acoustic guitar, I figured I might as well give that a shot. Woo! All right. I'm not doing an Australian character anymore. I can stop the accent. There's my peak. Cool. All right, this one's called A Crazy World. And I hope you're ready, because this baby slaps. I know in this crazy world, music gets you far. But I'm no musician, I'm just a comedian. I can't even play the guitar. No, I cannot play the guitar. I've never learned how to play the guitar. You all assumed I could play the guitar. Thank you. I feel kind of bad, I wrote a real song, so now I'm gonna stop and restart. Here comes Tanner, he's a real musician, to play you a song from the heart. He can sing, he can dance, like no other man. He's my best bud by far. But there's just one thing you should know about Tanner. 2, 3, 4. Tanner can play the guitar. Tanner's never played the guitar. You wanna feel now? I borrowed that. Give it up for Tanner. All right. I really wanted that song to work because I really want to see what it's like to be a musician on stage. You guys know that rock stars have the most fun when they're up there. Like for instance, someone can be singing a song and they just, yeah. Well, yeah, but no. People will sing the lyrics back. But since you guys don't know my jokes, that is impossible to happen tonight. Until right now, I'm going to force it to happen by telling you the punchline before the joke. And you're all going to say it in unison when I go 1, 2, 3 and hold the mic out to you, okay? Your part is, so I stopped drinking water. 1, 2, 3. So I stopped drinking water. So the other day I'm on Instagram and I'm just scrolling through and I happen upon a picture of an ass. And it was just an ass. It was the only thing on the screen. So I scrolled down. I'm like, what is the caption for this picture? It should have said, "This is my ass." Instead, what the caption says was very dramatic. It said, "Ships don't sink because of the ocean water around them. Ships only sink once the water gets into the boat, pushing it beneath the waves, forcing it down." So, in your daily life, do not let the things that surround you, the water in your world, get into you, causing you to sink. So I stopped drinking water. Thank you. You guys are great. Now, another thing I want to do to try and feel what it's like to be a rock star on stage is I want to try the world's first acoustic joke. We've seen what an acoustic guitar can do, just jazzes up the crowd nice and good, but we're going to see how an acoustic joke works. This is going to be the first one ever, and I'm going to need some participation from the audience. You know when someone's rocking out and then halfway through they're like, "We're going to unplug, do an acoustic song, so stand up and take out your flashlights." That's what we're doing right now. If everyone could please stand up, take out your flashlights. And wave them in the air like you're having a good time. And we're going to do the world's first acoustic joke. See if this works. Ha ha, y'all look beautiful tonight.
So I was on Instagram the other day, and I was scrolling, and I see this picture of an ass, and it was just an ass on the screen. And so I look at the caption, I'm like, the caption's gotta be something different. It should say, "This is my ass." But instead, what the caption said is, "Ships don't sink because the ocean water around them. Ships only sink when the waves get into the boat, forcing it beneath the waves." So in your daily life, whatever you do, for God's sake, do not let the things around you, the water in your life, get into you, causing you to sink. So I stopped drinking water.
Thank you so much. The world's first acoustic joke. You were a part of history. You can be seated. It's not just musicians that I'm jealous of. I'm also very jealous of athletes because they get to celebrate. As a comedian, I'm up here like, have you laughed? Very good. I move on, and that's all I can celebrate. I just got to be thinking about the next thing, you know? Really jealous of soccer players because they get these really long, drawn-out celebrations. And I don't think that's possible for a comedian on stage, once again, until I force it tonight. So this is the soccer player joke. You guys like soccer? Yeah, any soccer fans in the house? You hear what happened to old what's-his-name? God, sucks what happened to him, right? Oh, you haven't heard. Oh, no. Okay, I'll have to tell you. There was this soccer player who was doing so good, he was playing for his team, scoring lots of goals. And then poof, he jumped off a roof. This guy just, why would he do that? So I did some investigating. I did some digging. Turns out his wife left him. It sucks, but it's no reason to jump off a roof. Well, did more digging. His wife was cheating on him the entire time with his team's goalkeeper. It still sucks, but you don't have to jump off a roof, man. And then I found out that when he was on the roof, she was on the phone with him. And she said, "I'm sorry, but you're not a keeper." You guys like the old Billy Strut, the Conor McGregor, throw the swagger in the walk? Yeah, I like to consider myself the Conor McGregor of comedy, because I'm not going to stop until I've beaten the shit out of every other comedian in the world. Woo! Then at the top of my game, I'm going to quit. And I'm going to go beat the shit out of the world's greatest improv comedian in the world. And I will narrowly lose in the 10th round and return to stand-up comedy victorious. Is going so fast. I love Conor McGregor, like a lot. I'm a big Conor guy. Before I tell you this story, I feel like it's only right for me to preface the story with a little bit of a preface, I guess. You see, Conor McGregor's had a lot of controversies throughout his entire career, and I feel like it's only right to let you guys know all about these controversies, but I want to tell you my way, as a fan of Conor McGregor. I don't want the slant of the media to affect, because every Conor McGregor story seems to just be so slanted in negativity. So I'm going to tell you just the facts, and we're going to let you guys make up your minds. Did Conor McGregor knowingly and willingly pick up, run with, and then launch a steel dolly in the direction of a moving bus that belonged to his future opponent, Khabib Nurmagomedov? Yes, but did that same steel dolly that we assume Conor McGregor threw break through the window, cutting glass, injuring people inside? Yes, but on a separate occasion, did Conor McGregor punch an elderly man in the head? Yes, but were these instances caught on tape? Yes, but were these the only instances in recent history? No. So now that I've addressed the controversies, Conor McGregor is going to be fighting Donald Cowboy Cerrone, and Tanner and I are so pumped to go. We get our tickets, and nothing in the world could stand in between us and this ultimate boys trip. Nothing. Yeah. But I'd started seeing this girl, And ours was a modern Romeo and Juliet, in which we met on Bumble, and she is now blocked in my phone. Due to these details, we will refer to her for the duration of the story by a fake name. Just to, we're recording this tonight. So we'll call her Medium Chungus. Because I'm Big Chungus and Tanner's Little Chungus, so she's Medium Chungus. So I'm out with Medium Chungus one day, on a date and stuff, and I'm like, hey, so I'm going on this ultimate boys trip to Las Vegas how could I be so stupid? I forgot. Girls hate when guys have fun. I can't tell her I'm gonna go to Las Vegas, ultimate boys trip, so I need to spin it. I need to let her know that no matter what I do on this trip, I would be willing to do any of it if she was also there. So I say, but you can totally come if you'd like. And she says, oh, well, sure. I would love to go on your ultimate boys trip to Las Vegas. And I'm here, great, perfect. Knowing that I have just turned the ultimate boys trip into the story of the three Chunguses. Or, if you remember from biology class, when moving in herds of 2 or more Chungai. So the Chungai are off to Las Vegas. Unfortunately for me, she got her ticket about a month before we left for the trip. And by the time that the trip rolled around, our relationship was a little bit like the beer in the bottom of my pantry. It's been there for months. It's definitely expired, but I can't throw the beer out yet because the beer already got its plane ticket to Las Vegas. So I take the beer with me to Las Vegas. My plan, because in reality I never wanted to see her again, I met her on Bumble, I didn't want to see her anymore. You good, bro? I didn't want her to go to Las Vegas because I really, I never wanted to see her again. She knew that we were, having problems, but we weren't even, officially dating yet. So I just wanted to end things on good terms when we get back to Orlando. That's my plan. Survive the trip, Band-Aids on everything, end things when we get back to Orlando. That is now the worst idea that has ever been conceived in history because for the duration of the trip, I now feel like I'm in one of those old episodes of Scooby-Doo where another cartoon character just shows up. You remember the old ones? Where just Batman shows up? So I'm in the Scooby gang. I'm like, zoinks, let's go, whatever we're doing here. Look for clues, And Batman's like, huh. Why aren't you holding my hand? Just hold my hand! You know how Batman gets. Na 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 na. Hold my hand! So, she did not get her ticket in time to get a ticket to the fight. So Little Chungus and Big Chungus are attending the fight on our own. And we are posed to have the greatest night of our lives. We enter the T-Mobile Arena to thunderous applause as the fighters take the octagon and punch each other in the face until someone else stops them. This is the greatest sport I have ever seen. And people are beating the shit out of each other all the way down in the octagon as thousands and thousands of people in suits are jumping and cheering them on. It's great. But when Conor McGregor came out, Sinead O'Connor starts playing across the glen one Easter morn to a city far away. You know the song? Conor walks out, notorious. He's just walking in. Everyone in the arena is losing their mind. They think they're at a 10. People are wearing suits to these events because these tickets cost a lot of money. They're waving their suits over their heads. Conor takes it right into the octagon, does a little Billy Strut, looks around, kisses to the crowd. The fight starts. Conor sprints at Donald, throwing an overhand right that misses. But he threw it so hard, this man is so jacked, that he ended up hitting him with his thigh in the face. They clinch. Conor's like, oh no, I'm stuck. Donald's head, right here. So Conor breaks his nose with his shoulder. 4 consecutive shoulder strikes. Donald goes back. Now, Donald is the all-time leader in the UFC in wins, finishes, and head kicks. So Donald throws a head kick. Conor checks it. Nothing. Conor, head kick, boom. Donald stumbles back into the cage. Conor runs up, knee to the face, punches him. for a long time until Herb Dean calls off the fight. The fight was over in 43 seconds, and that arena that was at a 10 is now at a 20. Everyone is jumping up and down, and I'm looking around. Oh my God, this is amazing. And at that moment, at that exact moment, Saturday, January 18th, at 9:31 p.m., surrounded by a sea of screaming fans, I knew I would never feel more alive. Simultaneously, 2,311.2 miles away, Robert! Where the fuck is Robert? Robert was sprinting down the Las Vegas Strip with Little Chungus, trying to make it to the Encore Hotel before the club closed. We wanted to see Conor McGregor's after party. We just didn't want to be late, so we're running down the Strip. We get there. I'd never been to a Vegas club before, but it is exactly what you would think it would be. Got bottle girls, like 50 bartenders at 30 bars. There's a couple of pools. There's people setting up the gambling games, and the only two people in the entire club are Big and Little Chungus. Just standing in the middle. We were so early, we ran there. No one else had a chance. Just standing there like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. This is great. What should we do? Drink and gamble, I guess. So we did. We drank. We gambled. 10, 20 minutes later, other people started showing up. 6 hours later, Conor shows up. It's like at 3:45 in the morning. He shows up in his black suit. He takes the stage just like this. And where Landon is sitting right here is where I was standing. Conor grabs the mic from the security guard. What's up, Portland? Yeah! Oh! And I'm right there. Conor looks at me. I'm holding up a cup. And he notices that it's his whiskey, his proper number 12 Irish whiskey, the drink of the gods, the nectar of the heavens. He goes, ah, ah, and I go, ah, 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 and I let that carry me straight down a hill into the greatest night of my life. Very next thing I did is I lost $1.3 thousand at roulette. And the next day is the day that we're leaving Las Vegas. Now we're leaving. Had the time of my life. And Medium Chungus wants to have a talk. So I'm like, sure, let's go out into the parking lot. That's where all the fights happen. We're standing in a parking lot in between two cars. And she's talking to me, trying to work out our problems, because I think she knows when we get back, I'm gonna end things with her. So she's like, we can work through this. But I wasn't saying a lot because I didn't want to say the wrong thing. So she's like, you could just be blunt with me, just be blunt. And I'm like, okay. And in the sweetest, nicest voice I could possibly think to use, I go, okay, blunt. I brush the hair behind her ear and the back of her head. And I say, Medium Chungus, I never want to see you again? No, wrong thing. Wrong thing to say. She took it horribly. Who could have thought that? She was wearing a jean jacket. She whips it off, raises it above her head, and with a whoosh, smashes to the concrete. That last psh was her phone. And she didn't even know that her phone was in her jacket. But before it even hits the ground, she has done a 180-degree turn and sprinted 40 to 50 yards into a parking garage, really far away. And I'm left there like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, just I guess this is going to be a great joke one day. I need to write this down. So I'm writing it down, and then I'm like, she looked just like the girl in Fast and Furious. You know all the Fast and Furious movies? They have the little flag girl. She's like, 3, 2, 1, go! But then if that girl was like, I should race the cars, and sprinted 40 to 50 yards into a parking garage. In a weird way, though, yeah, it's funny how things happen. Because I never saw her again. Never. That was it. But, I'm sorry. She did come back and get her jacket, her phone. I'm not going to keep it. That is stealing, so she gets it. And then after that, I never have to see her again. When we were on the same plane back to Orlando, so we had to go to the airport, and then we were waiting at the terminal. Our flight got delayed, and it got moved. So we were waiting for a couple hours at the airport together. And it's a short 6-hour flight back to Orlando, but then we landed. I never had to see her again. Until the car ride back to the apartment because she parked at our apartment. So little Chungus drove big Chungus and medium Chungus back to the apartment. She gets in her car. She drives away. After she spent a little bit of time upstairs, she had to get her stuff out of my room. So she goes upstairs. She gets her stuff out of my room. She puts it in the car. She drives away. And I never saw her again. Until tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, I'm just fucking with you now. That would be awful. Are you kidding me? I met her on Bumble. Yikes. You guys been having some fun? Doing good? We have one more joke. It's the last one of the night. And it's a shame because I really wanted to go this whole hour without talking about the coronavirus. But as someone that is on stage in the year 2020, I forgot that it is now mandated in the law that you have to discuss the coronavirus all the time. Even though it's been talked to death, I still have to talk about the coronavirus. Luckily for me, there is one aspect of the entire virus no one has talked about. I guarantee it. So I'm gonna dive deep into that. It was the DJs during quarantine. You guys remember the DJs that were putting on full live stream concerts? Broadcast to the world from their living room to your living room on your laptop. Full EDM concerts. And I've never been one for the beep bop music myself. It's very beepy and subsequently boppy. If you don't know, EDM stands for electronic dance music. And it's this type of electronic dance music that it builds with its beeps and its bops. And it builds 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 until you think it couldn't possibly build anymore. And he goes away, clocks out for lunch. And this is when you hear the only words you're going to hear the entire song. It could be anything. It could be like two words, say an action and a word that rhymes with that action that has nothing to do with that action. And what's this? The beat has returned. Fresh off of its lunch, it is ready to go harder than before, and it's going faster, and it's going stronger with its beeps and its bops, and there's giant overhead lights that are accompanying all these beeps and these bops. And they're going off in everyone's faces, and everyone's blinded by these amazing lights and these lasers, and they're beeping and they're bopping. This is not the joke yet. This isn't the funny part. I don't think that this is funny. I don't think it's funny that people really love making this music or really love listening to this music, or that people found pure joy in watching their favorite EDM DJs live stream during the coronavirus. What I think is fucking hilarious is what they probably looked like the entire time. Just give me a second. Hey, honey, it's about time for the live stream. Could you get my laptop? Thank you. Okay, cool. Thanks. Hey, could you get the light on the way out? The light. No, it's right here. I got it. Cool. Oh, thank God, it's starting. Good. Are you ready for the action? I sure am ready for the action. I said, are you ready for the action? Heck yeah, I sure am ready for this live stream. This is gonna be great. I can't hear you. I said, are you ready for the action? I hope you are, because here we go. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, 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 boop, 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 beep, 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 boop. Yeah. All right. Woo! Beam, 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 head bang, orangutan. I have been Robert. You guys have been great. Good night. Where the fuck is Robert? One thing. Last thing. Not a joke. I just wanted to thank you guys for coming. Heard some people canceled their flights and moved them. Some people changed their Thanksgiving plans. Give it up for yourselves. Thank you so much for being here. I am out of here. I'm sure I'll see a lot of you later. Good night.